Okay, this is a side-by-side look at the Gen 1 and Gen 2 Prometheus. These are powder dispensers designed by a brand called Prometheus Tool Corporation. Please note that we're taking a look at these. This is not designed to be an instructional video, just to show you how the two work. Get a lot of phone calls and emails asking about how they work, their accuracy, and so forth. So on the right we have the Gen 1, on the left we have the Gen 2. You can see the Gen 2 is enclosed. It is a much more sensitive scale than a Gen 1. However, both of them are subject to air currents and other types of movement in the room that will throw off their accuracy. When you're using a Gen 1, you want to make sure that you're not breathing on it, or you don't have a current in the room from your AC or heater. So we're going to go and take a look at the Gen 1 right now. As you can see, we've got a RCBS Uniflow that's mounted on top. Then on the right in the blue is going to be the trickler. Let me grab my pointer. When it's trickling, as you can see, this comes out to here. You've got a little brass tube. The trickled powder goes down inside this tube and into the main hopper, which is right down here. Of course, the brass is going to flow out of this Uniflow through here and into the hopper as well. Along here, you've got the front part of your balance beam. Of course, that extends to the rear of the machine. As you'll notice, along the bottom, there's going to be two funnels. Now, this is a two-handed operation. I don't have two hands because I'm working the camera. That's why I have that duct-taped cup right there to catch powder as it falls. Where the cup is where you would put your brass up to dump the powder into on each charge. The funnel on the right has a stopper in it. That's because the trickling system is designed to not let every single piece of powder fall into the hopper. Reason being is sometimes as you trickle, you don't get a single piece of powder. You may get a clump, 3 to 6 pieces in there. And it's designed to not let that entire clump fall in there. So what will happen is as the hopper is swinging, only so many particles of powder or kernels of powder will make it in there. The rest will bounce down this ramp right here and into this funnel with the stopper. Whenever you're done reloading for your session, you would just pop that funnel off. They're all attached by magnets, and just dump that back into your box. On the rear, we have the needles and the magnifying glass that aids in determining if the needles are online or not. So what we're going to do now is go ahead and cycle this one time. When this cycles, this lift bar is going to raise this stopper out of the funnel, and then the whole system is going to come up. This is going to catch the top of it. When you put the hopper back down, it'll start to swing. The swinging motion will help get a real good accurate reading back here on the needles. And then we're going to trickle through here and do the whole system again. So just to give you an idea what this looks like, I'm going to go ahead and cycle the Uniflow. And the stopper comes up, the powder goes out, stopper goes down, powder pours back in, trickle from here. Alright, we're going to see if we can't get a good look at the needles now. Like any scale, you want to throw low and trickle up. It is difficult to get a good image of these needles with the camera, so we're going to go ahead and try to, there we go, get the best look we can. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and trickle up now. You should see the needle raising up in the view to get in line. Here it comes. As you can see, I'm moving these in just single kernel increments, and we're about one kernel short. Down the hopper. There it goes. Okay, that is 42.5 grains of H4350, which is the load I'm using right now on my 260. So I'm going to go ahead and just demonstrate a little more how the needles move. I'm going to go ahead and trickle and just do single kernels at a time. That was one kernel. That's a second kernel. And there's a third. And a fourth. And that's how that moves. So when you cycle the system, of course, the needle falls. Powder's been dumped in the hopper. It's been thrown low. Again, we're going to trickle up. And here it comes. That threw slightly high. Within tolerances though, if I wanted to, once I dump the powder into my brass, I could roll a single piece out if I wanted to. But where those needles are right now, I would accept that and not worry about it. So that is how the Gen 1 basically operates. We're now going to take a look at the Gen 2. Gen 2 is a fairly new machine. This one is actually brand new, but the design is fairly new. I think brand's had it out for about a year. And here you can see the internal workings of the machine. Of course, it's all brass. It has a green LED light that projects the image of the needles that we saw on the Gen 1 onto a two-dimensional flat screen, just like this. This makes it much easier to use. You don't have to focus so hard through a magnified piece of glass. I'm going to go ahead and set this camera up right now so we can get dead on with the indicator here and kind of discuss how this works. Okay, as you can see, we have this point here, which is actually the indicator on the balance beam, and then these right here indicate where you are. Of course, a zeroed load is going to have a line. These two are going to line up right in the middle. The indicators above and below can be anywhere from 0.06 to 0.08 grains of powder. This is depending on the powder that you're using. This machine is optimized for H4350 in Varget. Brand designed it that way just because those are the most popular powders being used in competition shooting. So, same system, only this is fully automated and the trickler does all the work for you. So what we're going to do now is going to go ahead and cycle this. This machine is not fully tuned yet on the dispenser, so it's still a little lighter than I want, so it's taking a little bit longer to trickle, but you'll see how fast it is. When it's way above these indicators, the trickler goes into a fast trickle. As it gets closer to its center mark, it'll go into a slow trickle. And we'll go ahead and demonstrate this now. There it is. We'll do it again. And there's the load. To demonstrate the sensitivity of the scale, I'm going to go ahead and trickle one piece of powder. You see it move. Okay, another kernel. And that's the movement in the scale. And there's the load. Again, 42.5 grains of H4350. Trickle one particle. Scale moves. Second particle. Scale moves. Okay, that is the Gen 1 and Gen 2 Prometheus. If you have any questions, you can email me at northtexasrifleprecision@gmail.com or give me a call at 972-824-8832. Thank you for your time.